we've been working with Nebula for the past 5 or 6 years, mainly on short animations for TV and web. We are very excited because it's an opportunity to develop a different kind of direction in our approach to sound design. Namely, we have the opportunity to work with characters and to develop voices for the characters, even if it's not spoken. There is no real dialogue. The characters still have voices and they should be recognizable. When we start our first discussions about the project, we have defined a few directions for the sound, and the references were mainly in the direction of Tex Avery, Looney Tunes. We talked about Tasmanian Devil, we talked about Road Runner, because those are characters that have very characteristic voices that are not spoken. There is no real dialogue, but anyone can recognize the sounds of those voices, and that's kind of what we are going for.
Inspired by the Tasmanian Devil, we tried some electrical saws to modulate the voice of the animals. So we get these hybrid sounds, mechanic and organic.
We experimented with a range of, so always starting from the electric saw, we experimented with a range of other sounds that we can modulate, and we also use human voice, but you can't, you can't recognize any of it. We are trying to look at the physiognomy of the animals to figure out, okay, what would they sound like? What would these characters sound like in the real world? And how can we mimic that with our chain of using the saw and the human voice and the synthesis and all that stuff.
We also used some synth sounds for the ambience and trying to do the same thing for the space, the size of the environment.
Oh, yeah, because I forgot to mention that the animals are very different in size. We have the very small fly and huge terrible things, and their voices have to reflect that dimension. Yes. And then the same happens for the space.
For the space, yes.
And the distance.
Yeah.
And the distance. Steve's score is amazing and is really close to the image, to the animation. Many sounds that we could use to illustrate the movement are already in the score. We can of course reinforce it, but it's just a question of giving some depth to the overall score. And that is brilliant. There are moments where it just stops the music and he says, okay, there you go, now enjoy and have this 20 seconds
silence for the
for sound effects.
Sound effects,
and it's brilliantly done. Okay, so there is no when we are hearing the score, we know, okay, now this is our turn. This is where we go in and have to do our stuff.
Hi, I'm Steve Rucker. I'm the composer for Don't Feed These Animals. I really fell in love with the animation, the characters, the whole atmosphere and texture of the film. And the number one challenge with scoring this film is the fact that there's no dialogue. And there's a whole lot of action, so it's an interesting and quite fun musical approach to score the film with the music, almost like a silent film.
My name is Gabriela and I arrived at Ergonoise just a few months ago, and I didn't expect all the cool things I'd be working on. And then they told me we're going to do this short animation thing about a lobotomized bunny, and I'm like, yes, working on this is giving me a lot of new horizons that I didn't even think I would be working on, but I'm loving it. And because I'm used to working with my voice, I also had a chance to voice some of the characters, some of the creatures that appear in the short, and that was really exciting and really fun. And then manipulating my voice to sound like monsters is like so awesome. Sound like monsters everywhere. It's fun. And I hope you like it. It was so fun to make, and yeah.
We start with pan opening. So coming up with something something kind of mysterious yet little activity. And off we go.